Hello everyone, welcome back to Optimize Evony. It's been a long time. It's been a minute since my last video. I had some exciting stuff happening in my personal life, and I took a 2 week long vacation, which was amazing. But I'm back here. I'm back to it, and I will be putting out a bunch of videos, hopefully in the next coming weeks. I know there's been a lot of stuff that I've missed, including the first two, I believe, K45s on Evony. There's been some alt bans. There's been a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not going to get into all of it in this video, but I did want to give a kind of a quick update on some of the new things that are happening in this event, so that you guys can be aware of them at least, even if you aren't going to be taking advantage of them. And the first of that is something that I've been kind of thinking that they were going to do for a while, and that is basically allowing you to upgrade subsidies. So for a long time, it's basically been they've been diluting the subsidy market. Basically, they every single event they release a bunch of subsidies, right? We all know the historic city searching. This used to be like once in once a month or something that they would do this, but now it's every single event, and they're constantly, just adding all of these subs into your server's sub list. And a lot of them are pretty trash. Like no one really uses green subs anymore. Even a lot of blue subs can be found on the maps, but there still is a pretty high demand for purple and gold Japan subs and Russian subs and Koreans and China's, and even some of the other ones like American subs, gold Americans um, for research and gold euros for construction speed. But eh, yeah, so basically they've been diluting this subsidy market for a long time, where it used to be that only like the top players would have gold subsidies, particularly of the important ones like the gold Japans and gold Russians. But now it's been those players have been able to basically max out their sub list. And you can see that I haven't, but you can see that uh, some players have maxed out their sub list for a long time. They've won a bunch of them. They've been able to get them from other events, and so they've been giving those subs away for to their alliance mates and stuff like that, making their alliance stronger. Um, but now, because they've diluted the sub market for so long, now they essentially are offering a way to upgrade these normal subs and some of the historic subs. It's only a list of, like, I think maybe four historic subs right now, and I'm sure they're going to add more later, kind of like they did with the ascending. Right away you couldn't ascend every general. You had to, it was only certain generals. But let's actually look into what you can do. So this is for a gold Japan. These things will change if you have a different subsidy. Um, but there will be some benefits here. And I think if you change uh, your culture, these will also change. So if you unlock it in one, it should also apply in the other one. So that's just for the main subsidy. And I would say if you're going to upgrade anyone on for a gold subsidy, you should do it on your main. And actually, I am a little curious about that. We'll get in and we'll talk about it a little bit more. So these basically, again, there's these five things here. This one has ground troop healing speed 10%. The next one is ground troop defense, 5%. Crafting speed, 10%. That one's not super important. So I would not unlock that one, especially because it requires more than a gold subsidy. General XP for monster kill, again, I would not do that because it costs a subsidy and a half of that. And then ground troop attack, defense, and HP, 5%. So as you can see, all of these first four attributes require you to have subsidy fragments. So this basically means that you need to have subsidies that you can break down into 5 fragments, which basically you need 10 fragments to get a full subsidy. So this would be 5 of those, so half of that would be for this one. This one is actually pretty interesting. Healing speed improvement is always good. Um, but you'll notice that this last one does not actually have a subsidy requirement. So this is the only one that people who don't have extra subsidies or don't have extra fragments can actually unlock. But it costs 300 of these hammers. And how do you get these hammers? You get them from the king's party. So you get it from the cake, and you can see that even at level 2, which level 2 is 5,000 gems, um, you'll get 5 Hephaestus hammers. So essentially, if we do the math there, that was 300 that this needed. So that would be essentially, 60, if I'm doing the math right. 60 times of unlocking this. Obviously, it scales up here, right? So if you get to level 3, that's 20 already, and then, if you get a full cake, it's quite a few. Um, and you'll be able to unlock things a lot faster. But it really is only this last one that you can unlock unless you have these extra subsidy fragments. So I would expect that these subsidy fragments or these subsidies are going to become in hugely high demand again. Especially if they don't give you a way uh, to take a subsidy and break it into fragments, because that would be a way that you could take someone's subsidy on the map and kind of decompose it. I don't like that approach. I don't think that that's possible right now. But I that would be really kind of a shitty thing to be able to do because then you could basically clear the map of all the good subs, except for your own, and no one else would be able to have a chance at any of those subs, which would be bad. So I don't think that's how that works. But correct me if I'm wrong. Um, what I am curious of is whether these are specific to the type. So let's say I change my um, let's say I change my keep to European or something, or Arabian or something, and have the fragments for that and unlock this. When I switch back to Japan, is this going to be unlocked, or is it going to be essentially I have five different attributes per culture that I can activate. That would be a little bit unfortunate. I'm not a huge fan of this update. I'll be honest. Um, as you can tell, I do not actually have more subsidies than I need. I'm still working on getting purple subsidies uh, for purple Japans, and so uh, yeah, it's going to be a long time before I would be able to unlock any of these, and quite frankly, I think the gold Japans are worth more to me than unlocking a lot of these things. I would never spend the fragments on either of these, these two. maybe this one, but yeah, it would maybe be the first and second and last one that I would, do it, because this one doesn't need any of those. Um, excuse me. So that's one thing that they did. It's a little unfortunate. You can see that it's not available for all of the historics. Like, it's not available for this historic sub that I have. Not that I would have another copy of that anyways, but I guess that is a way to um, get people to overspend on some of the the historic subsidy events and stuff like that, just to get extra fragments and stuff like that. Um, the other thing that's new this event is the Voyage to Civilization. This is basically a change to the wheel that gave out the ideal land stuff. So in the ideal land, there's all these different things that you can build, um, that you kind of you have to pay for. Uh, so there, and I can't actually see all the ones that I don't have, because I don't have them. But there's all these things that give buffs. Let me go back in there. You can actually see them when I click on them. So in the redeem here, you can see, oh, um, all of these are different ones of those statues. They all have different attributes that you can get, and so if you get the required number of coins here, you can redeem them, and you can build those, or you can upgrade the ones that you have already built in your ideal land. Uh, in my opinion, this is a really, really bad change. So the old wheel, the wheel of past secrets, or whatever it was called, um, basically you got one free per day, and then if you spent like $10 or something like that, you would be able to get one copy of whatever premium item they were offering. Um, and that's not the case here. So here you can see that you can get rewards like this. This is very similar to the Wheel of Civilization. Number of spinning times, you'll get these different wheels. And so, um, as you can see, you'll spin these wheels. You'll have a certain percentage chance to actually get the different things. So you'll get Banquet of Dionysius, a 0.5% chance. So that's kind of what you're targeting, but you're not going to get that really ever. And then the commemorative coins are what you can actually redeem with. And then, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that most of it is not very good. There's some good stuff like tax scrolls. But if you read here, you do receive one free every day. So make sure you do actually go in and click on it. Um, but there's no like you get this after certain number of spins. So basically you have to actually trigger one of these. You're going to have it um, actually drop, get lucky with it, or get these golden ship wheels and redeem it. And so you need 7 of these to actually get one of these things that you're actually trying to get. And so basically you'll see here, how do you actually get this from the previous screen. So there's no way to directly coin for those or anything like that. And here you can see that you get basically for free, you'll get 10 plus times. So you'll get two for free, but you need 7 to actually get to unlock one of those. And so you not only need 20 times here, that would get you to 3. Then you'll get 50 times, that'll get you to 6. Likely by that time you will have you'll have gotten at least one of these from the actual wheel. So you'll probably only have to really go to the 50 level to actually unlock one of those. But if not, you basically have to go to the 100 level to unlock one of those. To for sure unlock one of those, which is a hundred times that you're spinning, and you basically get like 10 or 12 for free. Um, so let's look at how much that actually costs. Here you can see it's 30 per $100. So, I mean, that's already astronomically more expensive than the Wheel of Past Secret was. Like that was like 10, maybe $15 that you had to spend. And this is like hundreds of dollars to unlock one of these. Granted, you get to pick, but that's such a bad, bad deal. Like, I would never do this. So I would recommend don't focus on this. This is not a good return on your investment. Hopefully they bring back the other version of it, which I already thought was not a good return on your investment, but do not spend on this. This is not a good event. Yeah, you can get some other things here, but it's just so bad. So don't spend on it. There's so many other things that you can do that you can actually spend on the game and get, important things other than the ideal land. I still think the ideal land, yes, it gives some good buffs, but it's so expensive, and there's no real it's just a pay to play thing. It's not a there's no skill involved in any of that. So um but yeah, I'll stop the video here. It's already been long enough. I think overall, both of those events are not my favorite. This has not been my favorite update on things, but I'm sure there are some people excited about it, particularly those that have a bunch of the sub fragments and stuff like that, and you know they're looking for ways to kind of stack those buffs. Um, but yeah, uh, this is the new update. Unfortunately, Evony has changed some of those things and made them worse, in my opinion. But I mean, what can you do? It's Evony. You expect that from for now. But yeah, like I said, I'll be putting out some more videos on my thoughts on a bunch of different things. Some different things to prioritize, all stars, all kinds of stuff. So stay tuned. If you haven't already, click subscribe. But if not, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.